A lot of y'all asked, how can you help support the Backyard Gardens podcast? Well, we have been busy and we have created a t-shirt line just for the gardener.
To visit our shop, go to the link in the show notes and check out the t-shirts and other goodies we have.
Now, these are super special t-shirts designed just for the gardener, so enjoy. Thank you for supporting the Backyard Gardens podcast, and we'll see you guys after the harvest. Can you hear the birds chirping? Can you see the squirrels? Can you smell it in the air? Because Batavia is losing it right now because it's time to go out and look for some flowers right here on the Backyard Gardens podcast, Minisode.
To have a good harvest, one must plant good seeds and must also use the right kind of fertilizer. The carrots have grown large and firm. How good they will taste.
Welcome to the Backyard Gardens podcast, where we talk about all things gardening and give the information out for you to be successful in your garden, whether it's your first or your last. We are your hosts, Ben, the backyard gardener, and
Batavia, the front yard gardener.
one in the country,
One in the city.
Now get ready as we dig deep into this wonderful world of gardening as we learn to grow and grow for change. Oh, that's officially the most ridiculous intro I've ever done to the show. Batavia's so giddy she can't stand it.
Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm ready.
You all right?
Yeah. All right. So flowers. I'm just so emotional about it.
Flowers. It's time for us to go out and look for flowers, which I think is Batavia's favorite time of year.
It is.
Yeah.
So this is my ultimate favorite window shopping experience. Like, I do this round of going to some of my local stores before I actually buy flowers, because I know I'm still going to buy flowers. If I've told you I'm not, just liar, I am, right? Like, I'm going to do it. It makes me happy. But this is where I start like looking around. We've already been into the stores and folks are like bobbing and weaving, and people have that springtime buzz going on, right?
They're throwing elbows for that last rack of Supertunias over there.
Yeah. I mean, your garden already has some life in it for many of us, right? So this is a great time to start talking about how to add some accents, if you will. That's totally the wrong word, but let's go with it.
Yeah, I like to go and I've decided that basically I like to buy my annuals for like all my pots and stuff. So that's what I'm going to be going out shopping for this year.
Yeah. And it is, you're talking about immediate satisfaction, right?
Immediate.
So,
and that's what you want in a pot.
Yeah. Absolutely. And this is what you want because we are in midsummer now. It's feeling good. It's
Mid-spring.
probably, damn it, it's not summer yet?
No.
Okay. All right. Mid-spring. We're in mid-spring now. I think the same thing applies. It's nice to be able to have that happy moment of having like a full flower when you come out outside. And some folks, they're buying all of their flowers. So this is your time to shine.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's a good time to go out and just, like you said, window shop, because let's be honest, it might actually be a little too early for some of the stuff they're selling right now. So it's good to see what they have, because, and also things cycle out through the stores.
Yeah.
You'll get your more cold tolerant stuff, and then, on and on and on until, the middle of summer, and you're like, oh, it's all gone. But we won't talk about that yet. We're going to live the high life right now.
Well, no, I think this is, and whether we covered it in the last garden update or not, I'm not sure, but you basically have this time of year is a great chance to kind of get an idea of when you can put what out. Like, this is where you're like adding things to your mental Rolodex, right? So you go into the store, you know how we talk about that a lot of times. If it's in the store, it's probably okay to plant. That isn't always the case. If you ever go into Home Depot and you see those flowers inside of the store, they're trying to keep them, a little bit warm because outside is a bit cold. So keep that in mind. But now you're getting an idea of what colors look like, when some flowers are blooming. It's just, it's a good day.
You're also learning. It's a good chance to learn about a new type of flower. I think, for me personally, like last year, I learned that vincas are kind of wimpy. You know what I mean? They were a great idea, but you know what? Me and vincas are broke up. I decided we're broken up, but I learned that last year.
We're going to talk offline about the variety you got, because there's a couple of different varieties.
Why should we talk offline?
Some of them stand up pretty well. I mean, I don't know which variety I did, so I can recommend it to you.
Oh, so you got to look.
Yeah. I think for some of these flowers too, you have that moment where you're like, oh, I want to put in my yard. But you could also be making your list even for next year of the things that you want to buy seeds for and start indoors. Chances are, if they're selling it in the store, there's a seed packet somewhere around as well. Now, granted, if they have this flower blooming in the store now, you're probably a bit late when it comes to starting that seed now.
Seed, but there's probably a seed you can start now too.
Absolutely.
So don't forget to hit those seed racks.
I'm absolutely still starting seeds now. In some areas, you may even have some of those flowers that were out earlier, some of the flowers that may have been damaged. They may be on a clearance rack, right? We know there's risk when it comes to a damaged flower. But if it's for a good price, man, check it out.
Go for it. And I mean, clearance racks, it's going to be a little early for that, but you can find them. You really need to know what you're doing.
Lowe's is notorious for like all year long. They have a clearance rack. They're killing all kinds of things when it comes to flowers and plants at Lowe's. So
it's just flower murder in that place. So, but I mean, in all honesty, it's, it becomes almost, I would say 2 to 3 times a week I'm going now and looking at flowers and, just trying to get an idea, because you go and you plant something in one spot and you're like, okay, that spot's filled. And you're looking like, well, there's this bare spot here.
Yeah.
And annuals are a really good thing to stick in the ground now to save a place for perennial next year.
That's a really good. Breaking it
That's what
down.
I did.
Yeah.
That's what I did with my vincas last year. I pulled them bitches up and I threw me some bulbs right in their place.
That's an excellent idea. I've never thought of it. Yeah. I may need to try that. For some of these annuals too, though, if you're looking around, it's the same lesson that we try to learn every year. They start at a size in the store, and a lot of those things will get bigger, right? So just keep that in mind when it comes to where you're putting things at. I don't know. I don't necessarily have a plan for my flowers. There's some things that I know that are bigger that I know where I want to put them, but I'm like plugging and playing when it comes to flowers most times. So if you're like Ben and you're very meticulous about your garden plan, you probably have a space picked out for every single flower that will ever come into your garden. How dare you find a nice
place to call me crazy? A nice way to call me crazy. I heard that. I heard that.
But no one else believes that I would ever call you crazy.
No.
On air. So yeah, I mean, it's a couple of notes there, right? So things will get bigger. Keep that in mind, right? Things will allow you to fill in spots and add some color, because this time of year, I still have a lot of green space. Like there's greenery everywhere. But I mean, that's not always sexy unless it's indoor plants. That's sexy as shit.
You know what, though? Yeah, indoor plant, hashtag it. Indoor plants are sexy as shit.
That's too long. Hashtag. But I'm going to use it anyway.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, don't be afraid to leave a little greenery. You know what I mean? So there's a reason, like, we started a lot of Shasta daisies this year. And, those are really small flowers, but there's a lot of greenery attached to them too, and I think it breaks it up as well. So
I was writing down the hashtag. I'm sorry, it took me a while because it's so long, but I love it. No, and I get that. I mean, I think that there's always that idea. I mean, it's an aesthetic, right? So there are a lot of flowers that have come back. We talked about perennials a couple episodes ago, but they still haven't bloomed, and that's okay.
Well, we talked about dividing your perennials, just in case you want to go back and check it out.
Okay, yeah. So I'm looking down at my list. Leonard, if you're going to ever do anything, keep me honest on these episodes. But anyway,
Keep you honest.
Yeah, right. That's one of your jobs. The whole idea now is you can add some immediate color to your garden is where I'm trying to go with that.
You know what? That's a good way to put it. Immediate color. You know, I support that statement completely because that's what it is. Because you can look at a seed packet all you want, and it can say 30 days till bloom, and I'm going to tell you that is malarkey.
Damn,
that is not true. You know what I mean? It's like, damn it, son. I've waited 34 days, and I don't even have, I got 2 leaves. Where's the flower at, bitch? And where's the one that looks like on the front of the damn package? That's what I want to know.
Is it possible for a flower to exist when there are only 2 leaves?
In my world, yeah.
Yeah.
But when they say, you get I've bought some before, it's like 32 days. And it's not true. So it's a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
But enjoy this moment because this time of year only comes once a year. And it's very short where we can go out and buy our flowers and look at them and everything's in full bloom. And, now I do want to give you a warning as you get later in the year. Let's say that you've listened to this a week after the air date. First of all, how dare you wait that long? But second of all, the bloom times come and go very fast. And remember, if that plant that you're going to buy is already blooming, then it's already using energy that it's running out of in that pot to bloom. So look at the one that's blooming and then buy the one next to it that's not blooming.
90% of the episode is done. And then you bring up this, which I'm sensitive about. So a lot of this stuff is spring blooming that you see in the stores now, maybe summer blooming. And it depends on the kind of gardener you are. If you're okay with basically having no blooms by the time you get to August, then that's fine, but if you want something that's going to bloom all year, keep an eye out for that stuff. Because it can be very hypnotizing seeing all that beautifulness, for me at least, and you get it home and it's kind of like, we know things like tulips are basically 2 weeks and done, 3 weeks and done. But there are other flowers that have a little bit more shelf life, if you will, but still won't get you to your, average first frost, which I almost always want in my garden.
Well, typically annuals are the ones that hold the blooms the longest because they live one season and they go hard all the way through. So now the thing is, you can find annuals that will reseed themselves and that's a win-win situation. So think about that as well.
Agreed.
What's one reseeding annual that you like?
Zinnias.
Ooh. Which one? What kind of zinnias? Let's break that one down a little bit.
There is I think it's, damn it, what color yellow is it? I can't think of it, but it's almost like the yellow I have on. And I'm waiting for it because I planted it in a specific place for it to reseed, and I can't wait to see what's coming up there.
Yeah, I have I'm growing
Canary yellow.
Canary yellow.
Yeah. Like
Tweety Bird?
Yeah.
I'm doing a Queen's Lime or something. That's what I've got. They germinated and I'm pumped. They're going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So mine would be, which is kind of a little bit of both. It's a little bit perennial, but it also reseeds. It would be a Black-Eyed Susan. I like those. Yeah.
I started some of those indoors.
My wife and I have been battling about it. Yeah, I can't get mine to start indoors.
I mean, I said I started it. I didn't say what happened with it.
Yeah. I can't get them to start indoors, but I found somebody last year in my neighborhood. They were just like, anybody want this? And I was like, hell yeah. So I went and stuck it in my ground. It's coming back.
Yeah. They grow high too. It's dramatic. That's one of the reasons I like them. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, everybody. Get out there and go look for some flowers because it's springtime. It's the rebirth of life, everybody. And when you go, think about Batavia crying just for you because her garden heart is singing just for you.
See ya.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you want to see what we're up to or just stay up to date on all the announcements regarding the show or anything gardening, then you can follow us on Instagram at Backyard Gardens TV.
We love seeing what you guys are doing, so use hashtag BYG Podcast in your posts, and we'll be sharing your gardens with the Backyard Gardens community.
And check us out on YouTube at Backyard Gardens, where we will post this show, all of our other shows, clips, and then also some gardening tips and just gardening entertainment. And you can see us at our website at backyardgardenstv.com. But that's it for today's show. So help us as we learn to grow and grow for change. And until next time, we'll catch you guys later. We'll call this one a wrap.
Now you know why people feel like celebrating at harvest time.
All over the world, people have feasting and good times when the crops have been gathered in.